Hey everybody, so I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I'm going to do a very honest video about things I really don't like about the curly girl method, and I don't think this gets talked about enough in the curly girl community because essentially if you're going into the curly girl method you probably don't already like your curls and you're trying to find a way of either like getting your curls to come back to life or just make them look more defined and nice, and like you're just looking for a solution for your curls basically. So I did a post on Instagram about a month ago sharing a little bit of what I'm going to share today, and it got so much interaction because I think it's so good to hear someone be so honest about how hard things are. And also I think some people were confused because they thought that meant I didn't like my curls or that I had a certain standard of beauty that I was trying to achieve that maybe wasn't necessary. And so I hope that what I'm going to share today addresses some of those things and just as a really hopefully good insight into what it's actually like being on the curly girl method, because if you follow curlies on YouTube or on Instagram you're only ever going to see them on good curly days because you only want to put out when your hair actually looks nice. You don't really want to share when your hair looks like really ratty because you've got the wrong product combination or you spent 10 minutes less doing your hair and so it's like got loads of frizz. That's sort of like not really the sort of things people want to share. And actually I kind of agree with that because I want to create a positive community, but I think there's also a way of being honest and therefore generating some positivity, because I honestly have thought about quitting curly girl so many times, especially in the last few months when I've probably been experimenting a bit more with different types of products, but also it gets really tiring after a while. So let's get into the things I do not like about the curly girl method. And the first thing is how long it takes to do my hair. Seriously, it takes me an hour every couple of days, sometimes every 3 days, sometimes every 4 days if it's a very good hair day. And it takes a whole hour, and if I spend any less time than that, and if I don't dedicate all of my time to making my curls perfect, then it will be a dud. It will be a waste of time and I have to do it all again the following day and it just won't look as good. Now, this probably leads into the whole question about like a standard of beauty that I have. Now, I do want to look nice. I want to look presentable, I want to look professional, and I want to look like my curls are actually looked after. I don't want to look like a frizzy mess. And if I spend any less time, I do actually look like a frizzy mess in my eyes. And it's about confidence, it's about how I feel on the inside. And I guess it probably kind of sucks a little bit that I feel like I have to achieve like some kind of standard or some kind of look for me to feel that confidence, but I think we all do in our own way, and that's just, I don't know, that's just how I feel. So there you go. So anyway, it takes me an hour to do my hair at the minute, and it used to, when I was straightening it, take me about half an hour because I would just wash it and then leave it, do whatever I was going to do, and then straighten it, which would take me like 10 minutes. So really, it took me no time at all to do my hair, and again I would probably wash it every 2 or 3 days, so the sort of wash cycle is about the same anyway, but it just took so much less time. And if you messed it up you could just get the straighteners and do it again and it would take only 10 minutes and it would be fine. And I just miss it not taking as long, and I really thought going into the whole curly girl method that after a certain length of time it would take less time, but it's been what, like 10 months now, 9-10 months, and it still takes a really long time. The second thing I want to talk about is how my scalp feels. So I've never really had any problems with my scalp before, and I think there's something about doing really like regular deep conditioning treatments and using that heat mask or heat cap thingy, and I think that really makes a difference to how my scalp feels. So around the back in particular it gets quite dry, it can get quite itchy, and it drives me crazy that that's even a problem, because when I was doing my straightening I never had any issues with my scalp whatsoever. So I use a scalp massager and that actually really helps relieve it, but it's still present and it's still something I actually have to think about. Third thing is how much the good curly hair products cost. And even like the basic ones, so even if you're looking at like a low level natural one, you're still talking probably double what you would pay for like a regular store-bought shampoo and conditioner, which is nuts. And then if you're looking at the ones I'm looking at, that's probably about 4 times the price of a regular shampoo and conditioner. It's just absolutely bonkers for ones that actually work. So I would super appreciate if anyone would let me know some really good lines down below. I feel like I've tried all of the good ones. There's one brand I haven't tried, which is the Giovanni range, and I'm really interested to try that. So once I run out of all the stuff I already have, that will be my next purchase. So the 4th thing is when products don't work for me. Because there are so many different types of curls out there, some of them are designed for much tighter curls than I have, and I think that's just so frustrating because I'll get a product and think, oh, it's gonna be so good, and then I've spent, you know, like I said, a reasonable amount of money on it, and then just be absolutely disappointed that it's really just too rich for my hair type. And that's usually what I have. It's like something that's too oily or too many butters in it usually, and then it just like weighs down my hair, and then there's frizz, and it's just like, it's not nice. It's just not a good thing, and it really frustrates me, like super frustrates me, which is why I really love YouTube, and that's something I want to talk about in a bit, because you can look on YouTube for people that have similar hair to you, and you can see what products they use rather than just like going on what's good for curly hair, because I think that's a really great way of kind of making sure you're spending your money in the right place. And that's why I really love sort of making YouTube videos still, because if you have the same hair as me, I would love to help you love your curls more, and I can tell you which products work for me and which don't, and that might help you find some new ones to try and find a routine that works for you. Number 5 is how easy it is to have a bad hair day and accidentally look like you are in the 80s again, or you look like a grandmother basically with a really dodgy perm. And actually I have those bad hair days less so now. So like the further down the line I've got, I have less of them, but they still exist and they'll still crop up on you, and you can probably save most days. That's the great thing about the further you get and the further you understand your curls and what kind of products they like, you can usually revive your curls and refresh them. But then like weather will come along and there'll be like wind or humidity and change the whole ball game, and you just, yeah, it's so easy to have a bad hair day. And to be honest, I had as many bad hair days probably before. It's just they were easier to remedy before, because I would just, like I say, grab the straighteners, put a few curls in, and I was good to go. But this time I just have to like wash my hair and start again, and it just, that's not really an option with my lifestyle. The 6th thing is finding a good hairdresser. I actually still haven't found one. I've been going around the houses on different hairdressers, and oh, it has been a nightmare finding a hairdresser. I think because I don't live in a big city, there's literally only a few curly hair specialists dotted around the UK, and they're all in big cities. So I think there's like London and Birmingham and probably Manchester. I think they all have one, but I'm not really near any of those. Although near is kind of a relative term. If I really wanted to go, I could, but then they're like really expensive. So anyway, I'm going to a new hairdresser in December, already booked it. Hopefully it will be better and they will understand a bit more, but I think also I know a bit more about what to ask for, so that's quite helpful. So I know to ask for like quite a lot of layers quite high up, and I think that's partially just the way my hair's been cut before and where the damage still is. So there's still a good amount of damage in various places on my hair where the curls don't sit quite right yet still, and because I went for a big chop, but it wasn't that big, so I went up to here from about there. But that's my son in the background. Can you hear that? He's just singing his lungs out. I'm just going to talk to him. He's so noisy. He's just singing, but singing really loudly to himself. So where was I? Oh yeah, so the haircut that I have is layered because I think that just, otherwise I've got so much hair to deal with, and this way I've got a lot less hair to deal with. But again, like I say, I think there's still so much dead hair in the back that just doesn't sit right, and that might also be the way I apply my products. I need to practice a bit more. The 7th thing is how long the transition period is, especially if you want to maintain length to your hair. As I've just said, if you don't just get a really big chop like up to here, then it's going to take even longer to grow out the dead hair that you've had from years of abusing your hair, if you're like me. If you haven't been abusing your hair, it probably won't take as long. But for me, I was straightening my hair for years and years and years, and so I've had so many bits I've just got a bit crazy with and just had to like snip them, because the sort of root bit curls and then the back bit just doesn't curl. So let me find a bit. This is a good example of a piece of hair that actually, if I cut this bit off, would probably curl a lot tighter and a lot nicer, but just because that bit is still dead from where I was straightening it. Anyway, I don't know how long I thought the transition period would be. I think I probably thought about 6 weeks, but it's actually, in all honesty, probably more like 6 months until I was really happy with the way my hair looked. So there you go. You have to have a very good amount of patience, I think, for it, and also go into it knowing that it's going to take a while. The last thing is, if I use my GHDs at all, it takes a good 2 to 3 weeks for my hair to recover, and probably actually a little bit longer than that. So I basically never use my GHDs at all. I've used them twice, I think, in the last 10 months, and it really wasn't worth it, to be honest. It really wasn't worth it for those times when I needed to use it. And when I'm saying use the GHDs, I mean I did my whole head of hair with the GHDs twice. I didn't just like do a couple of bits here and there. It really took so long for my hair to recover, and it was not worth it. So I'm unlikely to do that again, except for probably in December when I have my hair done and I'm going to a sort of fancy do. Then I'll probably have my hair done, but that's like once a year. So those are all the negative things I can think of for now, things I really don't like about the curly girl method, and things that just drive me potty that actually I think are probably like quite small things really. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, they're really minuscule, but it's like a daily thing that just irritates me. Now moving on to the things that I love about the curly girl method, that are the reasons I continue doing it, however crazy these other things like make me. The first thing I love about the curly girl method is how I actually have curly hair that I love. And that sounds so funny, but if you look back at previous pictures of myself, you'll see how my curls started and how they've transitioned into being this like big, full, bouncy curls that I just love. And I cannot believe that I straightened them for so long. And I love how they sort of really make my face shape look right, if that makes sense. Like, they come, because the curls come out, it balances the length of my face. And I'm sure some of you are looking at it going, what? But anyway, it's just how I see myself in the mirror. And when I used to have like long straight hair, and when I look back in pictures, I just think, make my face look longer than I think it actually is. So I love my hair, I love my curls, and I'm so thankful for the curly girl method, because without it, I would not have achieved curls that I love, that look moisturised, that look full, that look glossy, and there you go. That's really the main reason I stick with curly girl, however much it irritates me. The second thing, which is going to sound kind of related to the first thing, but on a good hair day, I feel more like me than any other day with like done hair, if that makes sense. Like today, I feel like me, and when I used to do my hair with the straighteners, I would do it and I would look nice. It just doesn't represent me, and this really just feels like me. The third thing is how my hair is currently growing super duper fast. Well, okay, in comparison to how it used to grow, which was like teeny tiny little amounts, and I used to have loads of split ends, which I used to have to trim all the time, and now my hair just grows really fast. It's really healthy, and yeah, that's just so much better. Literally, I think it grows at least twice as fast, if not more, because I trim it all the time, and yet it sort of remains the same length slash gets longer. So the fourth and last thing I love about the curly girl method is the curly girl community. This is one of the most positive, encouraging, helpful, informative communities online at the minute that I just think I love so much. And whether it's Instagram or YouTube or both, I just think there's so much to learn from people out there, whether it's how to apply products, how much, in what method, things like rice water rinses, deep conditioning treatments. You can find any information out there on Instagram and YouTube from other curly girls. I think it's just such a wealth of knowledge. I am so grateful for it, because without it I would be in a massive pickle and I would just not have the same hair I have today. So I'm really thankful for that, and that's the last thing I want to mention. So that is the video for today. I hope that was interesting to you guys in some way. Please leave me a comment down below if any of those things struck a chord with you and you're thinking, oh thank goodness I thought I was the only one, because quite frankly I really don't think enough of this gets talked about enough, and we only see like really beautiful haired people, and it drives me crazy seeing their lovely hair every single day. I just think, are you spending an hour every single day doing your hair to those lovely people on Instagram, or are you just taking like one photo or like 3 photos on one day where your hair looks good and then spreading it out over a couple of days? Honestly, I think that's what some of them are doing, because you can't just have beautiful hair every day. It just doesn't happen. So thank you for sticking with me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. If you haven't seen some of my previous curly hair videos, please go and check them out, because if you have similar hair to me, they could be interesting. And I hope you have a really fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for joining me. Bye. Hate is a strong word, but I really don't like it. Alright? Hey everyone, so I hope you're having a fantastic day today. Do this every time. Hey everybody, so today... Too much volume. Okay, that's like the 3rd time I've said snuggle down, and it's almost 3 o'clock. You may not actually nap today. You will. I'm gonna hold out hope.